So it looked like Angel Reese is back in the headlines after another unrivaled basketball game.
Angel Reese is back in the headlines, and not for the right reasons. In yet another frustrating performance, she left Chicago Sky fans shaking their heads. The latest game in the Unrivalled League exposed a major flaw in Reese's playstyle, one that may be hurting her team more than helping. It wasn't just about missing shots, it was about ignoring the easiest play on the floor, freezing out teammates, and making costly mistakes. And when it mattered most, Reese completely disappeared. This isn't a one-time thing, it's a pattern. And with each game, frustration is building, not just from fans, but from her own teammates. The question now is, can Reese fix her game before it's too late? Because right now, it's costing her team, and maybe even her reputation. Angel Reese had the perfect chance to shift momentum. The clock was winding down, her team needed a bucket, and there it was, Lexie Hull, standing right under the basket, completely unguarded. A simple pass, an easy layup, and the game could have turned in their favor. But Reese didn't pass. Instead, she forced a heavily contested shot over two defenders and missed. The moment was painful to watch, but even worse, this wasn't an isolated mistake. This is a pattern, one that's been haunting her game. It's called basketball tunnel vision. Once Reese gets the ball, she locks in on scoring, ignoring better options around her. And that's exactly what happened here. Hull's reaction said it all. Frustration, disbelief, because when your teammate refuses to make the right play, it doesn't just hurt the scoreboard, it drains team chemistry. And then, the numbers. Statistically, Reese's night started strong. 8 points, 10 rebounds in just 13 minutes? That's a solid first half. But then everything collapsed. 0 points in the second half. Not a single made shot. And it wasn't just the offense. Foul trouble kept her off the floor, racking up 4 personals and forcing her into a passive, ineffective role. It wasn't just a bad game. It exposed a bigger problem. The missed finger rolls, the struggles around the rim. These aren't new issues. They plagued her last season too. And now, with the pressure on, those weaknesses are getting harder to ignore. So what happens next? Can Reese adjust, or will her game continue to cost her team? Because right now, Chicago Sky fans aren't just worried, they're watching their star struggle in real time. And if she doesn't fix it soon, this might just be the start of a much bigger problem.
Meyer was leaning a bit on Hull. Reese gets ahead of the pack and lays it home. 19 for Reese.
Lexie Hull wasn't just open, she was wide open. She made the right play, moved into position, and was ready for the pass. But it never came. And when Reese forced up that contested shot instead, Hull's reaction said everything. Frustration, a glance toward the bench. That moment when a player realizes, it doesn't matter if I do the right thing, I'm not getting the ball. And that's the real problem. When teammates start to feel ignored, the energy shifts. The movement slows down. Players stop cutting as hard, stop putting in the extra effort. Because why fight for position if the ball isn't coming your way? It's not just one bad play, it's a pattern. A selfish playstyle doesn't just lower field goal percentages, it drains morale. And when morale drops, so does performance. And Chicago Sky? They've already seen what happens when team chemistry cracks. Marina Mabre leaving was the first red flag. On paper, she was a perfect fit, a sharpshooter who could stretch the floor. But she walked away, and now you have to ask, was that just a business decision? Or was there more going on behind the scenes?
Sky have now moved the 2 Indiana Fever road games to the historic United Center Arena in Chicago because of demand, right? Because of Angel Reese's pull. I mean, she plays in Chicago and they can play every game there, but they ain't got to because they don't sell out the Wintrust Arena.
Look at Kennedy Carter, another perimeter threat who should be getting more looks, but she's being ignored too. Reese's playing style forces teammates into roles that don't maximize their strengths. The offense slows down, the ball sticks, and suddenly, the entire system breaks. Chicago Sky has a problem that goes beyond wins and losses. If one player dominates the ball but can't convert, it doesn't just hurt the scoreboard, it kills trust. And when trust is gone, the team falls apart. So where does Reese go from here? Can she adjust before it's too late? Or is this the beginning of a much bigger problem for Chicago Sky?
Like everybody else, the legacy media, good Lord, during the Rookie of the Year chase, could not mention Caitlin Clark without bringing up Angel Reese. Angel Reese is neck and neck with Caitlin Clark for the Rookie of the Year, and we're like, God, I hope not, because if you're watching these games, if your eyeballs actually work in your skull holes, you can tell this Rookie of the Year race ain't close.
4 fouls in the second half. That's not just bad luck, it's bad discipline. And once you're in foul trouble, you have 2 choices: play passive defense or risk getting benched. Reese did both. Instead of adjusting, she became a non-factor. No impact, no presence, just there. And the result? The opposing team attacked her weaknesses, forced her into bad positions, took her out of the game without even needing to sub her out. When your best asset is rebounding and defense, but you can't stay on the floor, what are you bringing to the team? Now, let's talk about Chelsea Gray. While Reese was struggling, Gray was dominating. 38 points, total control. Every time the ball was in her hands, something happened. She created shots for herself and her teammates, exactly what Chicago wishes they had in Reese. That's the difference between a leader and a liability. One steps up, the other disappears. And right now, Reese is closer to the second category. Angel Reese had a chance to prove herself, but instead, she exposed major flaws in her game. Poor decision-making, inefficiency, and foul trouble hurt her team when they needed her most. Worse, she didn't adjust, she just disappeared. That's a bad sign for Chicago Sky fans. If this continues, it won't just be a bad game, it'll be a bad season. And team chemistry? That's already looking shaky. Reese has the talent, but does she have the awareness to evolve? If not, the Sky could be in trouble. What do you think? Can Reese turn it around, or is this who she is? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.